What's going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with an exclusive preview here of how the rest of the Spider Society team is likely going to get released based on the trends that we've seen. So keep in mind, guys, nothing in this video has been confirmed. The only thing that we do know for certain is the data mines that do say and give us additional clarity on how Peter B. Parker is. Having said that, based on the recent team releases we've seen, and I like the fact that they're creating some really, predictable patterns that we can actually utilize now to really identify, how the rest of the team is going to get released, right? In this case, PAV being the Indian Spider-Man, but as well as PENI Parker. So for more specifically though, guys, we want to be talking about how we're going to be best preparing, especially with the rest of the month still well in advance here. But as you guys can see, I love the infographic they always release because it gives you a lot of information on what's happening, right? And what kind of events. Right now, currently, we got the Nature Wars with Slick Outbreak, obviously featuring Zombie Juggernaut. And then you can see shortly afterwards, we'll likely get clarity in the Marvel Strike Force blog post at the end of this week, which is Peter B. Parker coming with Earthlings Needed event. And then shortly afterwards, we do see PAV actually getting featured in this Golden Hour event. So what does this tell us now? Typically, when we don't see a excluded character here from this new team, typically they're the following month's monthly feature characters. So there's a highly likely chance that PENI Parker is probably going to be the featured month of May for her release, and especially given how powerful she is in the team. She is really that core engine in the team, and it makes sense. Usually you make the most powerful character the featured monthly, so just something to be mindful of, guys. But I'm also going to show you kind of the track record here of the previous new teams that we've had seen to date. So that way you guys can see the trend that we're kind of following. But having said that, let me quickly just pivot here actually to the Earthlings Needed event real quick here before I show you guys kind of the cadence that we just quickly glanced over, which is obviously with this event, it's going to be big because Peter B. Parker's coming and he's going to be providing a lot of support to the Spider Society team. And it is a campaign energy event, so it's going to be coupled with free claims. There's a limited ISO 8 component to it, kind of similar to what we saw with Void Knight when he came into the game. His event was very... to be honest, it was dynamic. I did enjoy the aspect of it, but it was hard to follow if you're a casual player or if you're not paying attention to the details. But, it keeps you on your toes when you need to make sure that you're min-maxing the days involved with the different mechanics. So it looks like there is going to be a 48-hour time frame with limited ISO 8 campaign nodes to farm up progress for this event, in addition to a web milestone. And the web milestone really is just the earning of Blitz credits, right? So that's tied back to that. And again, you do see on screen here, it's starting on April 16th and goes till 23. So basically a week, but pretty standard as usual what we see in the past. Shortly after this event, actually, too, we also have the Attack of the Plants, and it's pretty standard as usual. ISO 8 campaign energy being utilized in addition to ally supply orb. So basically the same timing of the Earthling Need event. But remember, you are able to double dip with this event for Peter B. Parker because when you have that 48-hour time frame here to utilize ISO 8, you'll also be double dipping on the Attack of the Plants. So that's going to be nice just to synergize the two. Overall, this is usually a free-to-play friendly event when it's ever it's campaign energy driven. Now, guys, if we quickly switch back over here now to the release cadence of how I've categorized all these different teams, most recently the newer teams, and how they've been released in each method here, it is creating up some really useful information for us now, and I really appreciate Scopeless and Marvel Strike Force actually work on kind of creating these predictable patterns for us to not just prepare, but now we can anticipate what kind of events are going to be coming up, and that's kind of what I want to talk about, guys. So we'll work our way top down, going through each team so that we can get a good sense of what I'm trying to showcase it for you, and then we'll talk about the Spider Society team and how likely their team is actually going to get released here in the coming weeks and months. So Extreme X-Men, if you recall, Forge was the first character here featured in the monthly. We didn't have anything going on with Arena or Crucible. We had Sunspot getting the majority of the points with his event coming from campaign, and then we had the introduction of Nightcrawler through Blitz. Already in game with Cyclops and Gambit, so we did not need to worry about them. Next up, we had Hive Mind, right? There was no specific featured character here for the Hive Mind team. However, Gwenom did come in the way of an arena event. Void Knight, I decided to add a different teal color here for Void Knight because his event was very unique in the sense that it involved many different components. If you recall, there was an ISO 8 portion of it as well as a Blitz. So they're rare, but let's keep track of this going forward so that way we can kind of see when these kind of events for characters do come about. And then finally, we also had Red Goblin getting the majority of his points event coming from actually a mixture of things. He was utilized in some aspect for the February monthly in a way, and then as well for Rayge. So there was more points coming from Rayge, so I wanted to just include that in there, but you can obviously include him as part of the monthly for February if you'd like. He was kind of part of both. We already had Carnage and Venom in game at that time. So then we also had out of time here, Black Knight, a very unique character in this case because of him being a direct counter to Super Skrull, at the time being the best character in the game. So I don't suspect that we're going to see very many cases of Black Knights, but just a heads up, we'll just keep track of it for now. We had Cosmic Ghost Rider coming in the way of a arena event, and then Starbrand coming in the majority of ISO 8 campaign farming. So that was kind of nice to just, ease off the pedal a little bit with this team right after Hivemind. Both Captain Carter and Steve Rogers already being available in game, so didn't need to worry about that, which was nice. And now, guys, we can cover the most recent month, which is this current month right now, the leader being part of the monthly for the month of April. We have Iron Patriot actually getting featured in this last event failure for Cosmic Crucible. And thankfully, they're a three-piece team, so there was nothing else really going on. As you can see, nothing for Campaign, Blitz, Raid, or ISO 8. And Namor was already in game, which now leads us to the Spider Society team. As I already touched on, there's some strong suspicions and thoughts that Penny Parker likely is going to be the monthly character. As I've already noted, usually they try to slot in the most powerful character or the main linchpin of the team, so it makes sense. Peter B. Parker, we already went through his data mine. He's going to be that campaign event, but he's unique, very similar actually in a way to Void Knight, because there is going to be that limited time ISO 8 component tied back, in addition to having that web milestone also consisting of Blitz credits. So obviously he's kind of a unique situation, very similar to Void Knight, which now leaves PAV, right, aka Indian Spider-Man, his event coming at the end of the month, likely being either, in my honest opinion, being an arena event, fingers crossed, because arena events usually pay out really good, or more annoyingly, because we have not actually seen it for quite some time, there's a strong thoughts that he could very well be a Blitz character. We have not seen a Blitz heavy kind of event since Nightcrawler in January. So I mean, December, January, I believe it was, but I mean, we haven't really seen that caliber. And you know what the funny thing is that it's called Golden Hour. So I wonder if Golden Hour is referring to, like, the resets of hourly Blitz. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but these are my thoughts for now. Again, nothing is confirmed with the exception of Peter B. Parker's event, but I mean, I love the pattern that we're seeing now, and we can actually get some good information on what type of events are coming for the rest of the month and in the coming month. So yeah, thank you for your guys' time as always. Hope you enjoyed this preview, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.